So then we're trying to get down here to the Nameless Star, to the Forgotten Twins. So let's see what routes we can find. Ooh, we could actually go directly to the Forgotten Twins. But we'll go to the Nameless Star first. I think that's fine. Unending War is the rumor. What is Unending War? In a region of the Nameless Stars lies a doomed world owned by Caligos Winterscale, one that is trapped in the agony of a centuries-long war. That sounds fun. Lord Captain, your plan was a success. Our provocation against Nemesite and the killing of the traitor Adelbert has brought out all the rest of them. Mine forces have captured a number of suspicious individuals and beaten the truth out of them. That scum Nemesite wishes to avenge his mentor's death and plans to raid the ceremony of the officer's anointment. Since the impious Adelbert has turned out to be an apostate, it is the new confessor's duty to ensure that the officers retake their oath to the God Emperor. Traditionally, the ceremony is attended by the officers' families, and it is they who are the target of the mutineer. He wishes to slaughter all of the ship's elite in one fell swoop. I've ordered a trap to be set for Nemesite. Would you like to be personally involved in the operation? Absolutely. But what kind of trap? We will replace the civilians with enforcers and their relatives of the appropriate age, dress them all in their formal clothes, and hide their weapons underneath. When Nemesite tries to strike, he will find only cruel disappointment for the last time in his worthless life. Wait, the appropriate age, are there going to be elderly and youths present? It is necessary for the sake of secrecy. Let me assure you, all of my people will gladly risk their families for the good of the von Valentius dynasty, without fear or hesitation. So we could just say detain him yourselves and I'll join you afterwards. No, we're definitely going to be there. I mean, for a rededication of everyone saying their oaths, it feels like a thing that we would naturally be there for anyway, even if it wasn't a trap. You hear a burst of interference followed by Cabela joining the channel. Dom Ignatius, the whispers of death are uttering the name of Nemesite ever more loudly. I must meet the enemy face to face. Oh, very well, we'll capture him together. You should stay out of this. No, we'll capture him together. So be it. Cabela's voice is quiet, yet somehow even more grim and ominous than usual. Okay, so it's us and Cabela. We'll put Argenta back, since this is, you know, dealing with religious-y things. Yeah. Like things that are focused around our worship of the God Emperor. It feels like Argenta should be on the team, but when we're just going into unknown places, Yrliet, I think, is a better combatant. Well, this is a very different chapel. It's very fancy. The rows of disguised enforcers are listening to the confessor's words in silence. All around you are Sauerbeck's chosen people, each dressed as a member of the officers' families. Close by, a kindly-looking old woman is fumbling with a starched handkerchief. Handkercher. I was going to say handkerchief, but that's clearly not that word. Catching your eye, she smiles with a mouth that is missing half of its teeth, then whispers, "Everything is going as planned, your lordship." I mean, don't break character. Hello. Look at the participants in the ceremony, and who might you be, Madam Matriarch? So why would Sauerbeck entrust my safety to someone so advanced in years? Or I'm bored, perhaps you might amuse me with a story. Let's look at the participants in the ceremony. The facade is holding, with everyone placing their roles perfectly. The Master-at-Arms must have instructed them thoroughly and shown them how best to conceal their weapons. All of them are wearing their best, and even you cannot tell where they are hiding their armaments. And who might you be, Madam Matriarch? Belinda Troughtgold, Lord Captain, transferred from the Enforcers with the rank of Senior Lieutenant to the staff of your Lordship's quarters on account of my age and declining health. But, as you can see, there's no such thing as a former Enforcer. A friendly smile stretches across her bloodless lips. So, why would Sauerbeck entrust my safety to someone so advanced in years? I guess the Master-at-Arms remembers how Belinda used to be the best shot among the Enforcers back in the day, and knows that my eye and hand have not diminished over the years. I spent 40 years on duty, and to this day I can tell if a man is carrying contraband in his pocket, just by the way he is walking. I'm grateful to Mistress Sauerbeck for the honor. I don't want to die in my bed. Let me fall in battle, defending the Lord Captain and crushing traitors. Belinda gives an imperious yet absent-minded nod and dabs her eyes with her handkerchief. I mean, I hope you don't fall in this battle, because it would be ideal if this was very one-sided, where we just win. If a lot of these people end up dying, then we made poor choices. Do you believe Nemesite will fall for our ruse? I mean, probably not if we keep talking about it out in the open. Judging by the way that the surf in the back row keeps glancing around, our Nemesite has swallowed the bait just like the void rat he is. The porridge will hit the fan any moment now. A most benign smile crosses her face. The ceremony comes to an end, the vows are given, and the forehead of every officer is graced with the touch of the confessor. Now comes the moment for the closing prayer. And may the God Emperor... Arabella. Okay. Arabella sounds female. And I guess they have been neutral, but I guess looking there, I assume that was a male. And may the God Emperor protect us. The loud and menacing voice booms through the hall, cutting short the sacred words. But not today. Also sounds very masculine for an Arabella.
You cannot stop the angels, faithful!
You have 3 arms. Oh, come on, people. We were planning this trap. Why is everyone dying?
Defensive positions! Do not let a single one break through! I won't heed your cries.
How do you get so many people killed when we knew where and when they would attack and planned our own people for the trap? Come on. Who do I have on this crew? So these are all my allies. So they are all in front. Okay. Just was making sure we weren't surrounded. And then you must be Nemesite or Kellermorph. Anyone scary amongst them? 46. I mean, you have 91 health, Insurgent. But no, they're all pretty weak. 484, though. What do you have going on? No deflection, that's nice. A little bit of armor, quite a bit of dodge. 3 guns. Whole bunch of unknown abilities. I don't understand all those question mark abilities. I don't remember seeing them early on when I was looking, and recently we keep seeing them. Alright, where do we move, everyone? Abelard, where can you go? Not a lot. Might move you here so you can start moving down the row that way. Pascal can go anywhere, as always. Even directly to confront Nemesite. Might do that, or I might have him... We're probably going to have Pascal go there. You... Probably have her move in this way and start taking them out. Or maybe take out this insurgent that's a bit more forward. And then for our ranged characters... I guess just go into cover. Sounds reasonable to me. Yeah. Let's start the battle. So we can set front line. Do we focus on Pascal and Nemesite? Or do we help Abelard? I don't know when everyone's going to move, so trying to guess where the battle is going to take place seems challenging. I think we will give Pascal the benefit.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
And then we will give ourselves the crit bonuses. Seems reasonable. Bring it down on Ignatius just to get things started.
Already done.
There. Orchestrate flames. You could actually run and gun right now, because one of those actions didn't cost us a point. So who do we want to light on fire? We could take on this insurgent who's kind of in the front, or we could... That does not do a ton of damage. Well, I guess it's doing a lot of damage. He just has way too much health. So maybe we start with lighting you on fire.
Not a problem for me.
There you go. How's that? 14 fire per turn is not as much as I would like, but we'll probably start doing in flames soon. Alright, back here. You could lidless stare and take on a whole bunch of them. You went here. You are getting that insurgent and missing Ignatius. I'm quite surprised that is in fact hitting that insurgent. But I like that grouping.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Lidless stare is so powerful. Point of curiosity. Something like that.
Not a servitor. Yeah.
There we go. Seems good to me. Oh, he is running away. That didn't go according to plan. Grenade. Would be a good spot for a grenade. That is true. Since they're all grouped up. If Argenta goes soon, it looks like she will. You are gonna die, sir. Argenta, you have grenades. 12 to 24 damage. Only 5 energy. Or light a bunch on fire. Lighting enemies on fire would help us do more. How big of an area versus this? It does hit more enemies. Because we could have her throw the frag grenade there and hit all of them. If we instead went with the fire grenade, it hits a bigger area. But unfortunately, it's just the same group. I think I like the frag grenade better, actually. No, we're missing one that we would hit with the fire. It's fine. Let's see what it does. We don't use grenades often enough, but that grouping is super good. Hello? So we can't attack anymore. We could run and gun, actually. If I did run and gun, what could I do? If we switched back to our bolter and just shot into the group, just make sure that's not going to hit Ignatius, and it's not. Even that isn't going to hit him. Probably there. We'll give it more shots. And then just blast into the group, I suppose. Seems good. Then do your Furious Recital.
my momentum.
There we go. Could do firearm mastery. She would get 5 hand placed shots. How soon is it till Cassia's turn? Actually, pretty far. It keeps scrolling poorly. Pretty far. There's a good chance we will get our momentum back before then. So let's go firearm mastery.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave.
Okay. So we want to be targeting new enemies each time. 22 is not good.
I'll do it. This is why
Shot there. Shot there.
Strike is a prayer. I'll do it. This is why I was chosen.
Lighting them all on fire feels good.
As the Emperor commands. I'll do it.
Oh, miss. Come on. Not bad.
Show me what you've got.
Yeah, run up to Abelard. That's going to be good for you guys. Alright, Cabela, how do we have you kill all of them? Because I could go here. And then... No. They're just far enough apart that we can't quite hit all of them. That's a shame. But yeah, I think we go here.
And retribution.
Whether we attack or use this, it kills our movement.
I shall
We'll
not
use
fail.
that.
Let your soul be purged.
You guys actually survived? Well, that's disappointing. There's them down. I could do a jump just to kill you, but you're on fire and going to die automatically anyway. So we could jump over to here instead. That doesn't get us close enough, unfortunately. So I could dash to get over to here. Then another jump. Ow. What? What is going on there? How are you attacking us on our turn? When this creature's wounds drop below 30%, they immediately attack their enemies with Physaline. On their next turns, all of the creatures perform subsequent attacks will also be with Physaline. Okay. That's scary. Let's do Acrobatic Artistry, which should slide her along and maybe kill all of them. Hello? Oh, does it not go back through the Danse Macabre? I thought she would redo the entire movement, but I guess the Danse Macabre did not count. Alright, well, just kill this one.
The shadows will see it done.
Or not. Leaving them at 1 hit point, that's fine. It's fine. That one will survive. The rest are all dead. Alright, we have taken some injuries, unfortunately. But basically everything is dead besides that insurgent and Nemesis. We could hit Nemesis again. We could hit you again. Everyone's already burning. So maybe we start out with Inflame and see what happens. Except you're not burning by us. So if we hit you with Ignite first, you'd take a lot more burning damage from Inflame.
Nothing I can't do.
Yeah.
Opposing me.
Well,
Your biggest mistake.
that, sure. You will not take more damage from Inflame because you're dead.
Already done.
Escape the Emperor's
These
judgment.
flashes are choking me.
Oh, right. Cassia took a bit of damage there, and she's going to start taking a lot more. That's not as ideal. Oh, forgot about you guys. I mean, Abelard's going to deal with you, but still. Why will you not let me scroll down to see who's next in initiative? Okay. I don't need to see who's next in initiative. We can't do run and gun right now either. That's disappointing. Just orchestrate flames. I guess we'll use it on you because I don't think we have yet. And go here into cover, I suppose. What is that symbol for? Why is that square different? I don't know. We'll go there. So that we're ready to keep attacking. Pascal. Ow. Alright, I need medical attention. Like a lot. Pascal could actually get over here and use his mechadendrites. I also wish... So sometimes it gives you the number. And then sometimes it gives you the formula. And it's like, I wish I could see the number so I knew exactly how much we would heal. But then like hover over it to see the formula. We've got Abelard. Argenta is still a ways out. She's going to be our main healer. Cabela could also do it. But we need to heal Cassia and Ignatius before their next turns. Oh, Cassia is... No, she doesn't need to be healed. She's got enough health to withstand burning a few turns. Okay. I don't know why I thought she was lower than she is. Ignatius is the real problem. Alright, go here. We could do Reckless Abandon. Let's do Pain Resonance. Just to penalize him. Reckless Abandon. Then Where It Hurts. Actually, we'll also do that. So you do more damage. Then Where It Hurts. And then a sweep here. Oh, and just win the fight. That's fine. No? So he probably triggered that at half health, not... Okay. Sure. I guess we'll just end your turn there. I could actually use your exploit, but we're almost back to Cassius. No, we're not. It's just the scrolling is not working properly. Scroll down. Scroll down. So yeah, we have an Aberrant, and then Abelard gets his turn. So yeah, we aren't nearly to Cassius. She's still got... I mean, Abelard's the only one we have left for the turn. If I wasted it, then she wouldn't get her turn. Or be able to use her options. Alright. Sure, Aberrant that popped out of nowhere. Abelard cannot get to Ignatius. He might be able to with a charge, actually. Because if Ignatius goes down, our resolve drops, as well as our fighting force. So let's... If I moved you here, and then I said to charge... I want to make sure I don't accidentally attack Ignatius. We've done that before. I went here. Okay. Then we can charge over to here. Which hopefully doesn't involve an attack. I'm just going to go here. The squares aren't super obvious what works and what doesn't. Yep, take the 2 attacks. It's fine. Perfect. Medicae, Ignatius. You good.
Let me help. Back into the fray.
Perfect. Then endure. Since there's not a lot you can do on this turn at this point. Yeah, we'll have to call that good enough.
I can handle this. That's gonna hurt.
Ooh, Argenta, this is going to turn out poorly for you. Not that bad, actually, all things considered. Okay, that was kind of bad. Alright. Cassia, first thing, finest hour on Ignatius.
In the name of House Orselio, I shall prevail.
How much fire do you have going on? Because normally it's supposed to go away. Okay, you're not burning at all. Okay, perfect. Let's get you burning.
Not a problem for me.
Good. Taking 36 every turn. I'm good with that. Let's light you.
Nothing I can't do.
Let's light you.
All too easy.
We still have 3 more attacks. Or I can do Meltas. I can't... Oh, there was a spot. There we go. That'll get the Melta to go through and kill the other guy. Like Firestorm. No, that's going to kill my allies. I like that idea.
Nothing I can't do. Stand a chance?
So So they both died. It's close to death. If I did another inflame, we'd be in worse shape. But it would probably maybe kill that aberrant. Let's hit you again, I suppose.
Already done.
Then I could theoretically run and gun to get another hit on someone.
Nothing I can't do.
Who do I think? Let's go for you again. There we go. Then we'll do inflame,
Suits my purposes.
which will hit ourselves, but more importantly, it'll hit them. So they both die immediately. And you're down to 23 health left. I think we've already orchestrated flames on you. I guess not.
Problem for me.
Perfect. And our turn, it's back to Cassia. Ow. Can you not? Let's give a turn to Pascal.
Do not dare ask.
Okay. Can you move forward safely? If I put you here, would you give a turn to Pascal? Or... yes, you can use this on Pascal from there.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
And then once he has that on him, then you can give him another turn.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Pascal, go with a where it hurts. And a bleeding strike. Perfect. Gallimorph. Nemesite is crouching on the ground, clutching at the bleeding wound under his ribs. His tortured body is still strong, and everything in his posture expresses a will to fight on. The red scarf no longer covers his face, and the vigilante grins at you with bloody teeth. Weak. I have yet to be impressed. No longer covered by the broken goggles, the hairless skull is bulging with massive growths. However, the mutant nature of your enemy is just as quickly betrayed by an even more unsettling feature, the third arm growing out of his torso. You watch as its fingers deftly empty the drum of a stub revolver and load it with fresh rounds. So we finally meet at last. I will discover who has been hiding behind the name Nemesite. While mutant, you are an insult to the human form. You lost. Your battle for the ship's freedom is at an end. Do you have any last words before you die? Surrender and you'll be judged fairly for your transgressions. Or prepare to fight. You will be the last Nemesite the ship ever sees. I will make sure of it. I don't know why we keep calling him a mutant. We know that he's... unless they consider people who are infected with gene stealers mutants. But that feels more xeno than mutation to me. I think I'm just going to go with you lost. I mean, we finally meet at last. I will discover who has been hiding behind the name of Nemesite. The surrender feels dumb, and then fighting him, we've already won. Why would we prepare to fight again? So we finally meet. At last I discover who has been hiding behind the name of Nemesite. The rebel scoffs and spits out a tooth, together with blood-streaked saliva. You still haven't figured it out, have you? Nemesite is no one person. It is the vengeance and rage simmering on the lower decks of your usurped ship. It is the servant who cleaned your chamber pot, the storage keeper whose family was butchered by enforcers, the train driver who was given half a dozen ration cards in 3 times as many shifts. It is the name of the one who will kill you, sooner or later. Whoever accomplishes it will be the real Nemesite. You lost. Your battle for the ship's freedom is at an end. Do you have any last words before you die? Nemesite laughs derisively. Freedom? I care nothing for freedom, or for the throngs willing to offer their necks to your yoke. I will not die for these wretches, but I will gladly pay for your demise with my life. Both you and your drudges come from the same rotten root. That is why you are so easy to fool. Nemesite and his march against authority are just a fancy story to tell the rabble, a convenient tool for recruiting the wronged and the disposed. In truth, all of you must die and make way for those who are truly worthy, more pure, more pious, more courageous than any of you ever were. Was the man who raised you just as foolish and likely to believe in a fairy story? Did you use him too? You sound like a fanatic who wishes simply to die in the name of something greater than himself. Smirk, do you even know who I am? Are you aware of my accomplishments, and still you think I can be killed by the likes of you? Persuasion 10, which we have 0 chance to succeed. Technically 40, but we're not going to succeed if we try this. Laugh, I see you're just another mouthy upstart, preying on people's minds. So this is a situation where they're forcing us to use our own fellowship, which is super bad. Raise your voice menacingly. You lied to people, condemned them to death, and for that you will be punished. I will speak on behalf of those you have brought to ruin. I couldn't care less about you, Dribble. Was the man who raised you as foolish and likely to believe in a fairy story? Did you use him too? No, Adelbert believed in what I believe. He was just as willing to sacrifice himself as I am. You disgusted him, and I'm proud that he was able to deal such a blow against your paltry authority. You sound like a fanatic who simply wishes to die in the name of something greater than himself. Death is hardly a price. Everyone dies sooner or later. I've given my idea so much more. I've given it my life, every day that I can remember, and that idea is so simple. You and your people must go. Perish in the blood and the filth that you so eagerly spew forth, so that something worthy can take your place, something that is pleasing to the one true God. And you do not care if you see it with your own eyes. All you strive to be is a pebble on the road. Cabela does not ask, she proclaims, as she looks at Nemesite with a strange expression. Yeah, so she's still struggling with seeing a bit of herself in Nemesite. Yes, the caustic mockery vanishes from Nemesite's voice for a brief moment, and by becoming a pebble, I will support the feet of those who walk this road into the future. You're just another spawn of the aberration cult I eradicated, aren't you? An angry grimace twists his face. Yes, and I will punish you for that blasphemy, for every pure soul you purged, and for desecrating the body of our guide. He blessed me once. He called me to be a Nemesite and clear a path for the children of the many-armed emperor. You have done the unthinkable. You will pay here and now because the dead are hungry for vengeance. Do you even know who I am? Are you aware of my accomplishments? And still you think I can be killed by the likes of you. You can see it in his eyes. He does know you. Words of your great past deeds has traveled the entire Koronus Expanse and far beyond. Cool. He is nervous, but his voice remains as bold as before. I know who you are, but you know nothing of me yet. Foul mutant, you're an insult to the human form. Surrender and you'll be judged, or prepare to fight. I think they're going to force us to fight even though we already won. I hope if they heal him up, I hope they heal us up at least. Foul mutant, you're an insult to the human form. Nemesite shrugs, all 3 of his arms moving with deadly grace. Fate has rewarded me with the ability to kill 3 of your mutts at once instead of 2. I'm truly blessed. We're not going to offer surrender. Surrender would be dumb here. He's not going to take it. You'll be the last Nemesite this ship has ever sees. I will make sure of it. Aren't you a little overconfident? Nemesite casts a glance at the stub revolver in his hand, then back at you. You are right in front of me. My gun is loaded. I believe this tune is not quite finished yet. It feels like time has become viscous and is slowing you down. You see the bloody hand of Nemesite raise the weapon, and your body reacts of its own accord. There is no time to deliberate. You summon your gift, concentrate your psychic powers at your fingertips, and raise a hand in Nemesite's direction. The air grows frigid, but the rebel is already aiming his gun at you. A malevolent grin spreads over his face. The black muzzle of the stub revolver stares at you, a coating of frost forming along the barrel, and the world around you narrows to a thin line. Cabela emerges nearby like a shadow, blade gleaming menacingly in her hand. She hisses softly, ready to pounce. It is your thread that will break today, and no other. Save your message for your false god when you meet him, servant of death. I'm glad I get to take you both down at once. The second gun is now pointing at Cabela. I vow that your murderous sect will fall along with the Lord Captain. Exchange glances with Cabela based on our fellowship. Smile contemptuously based on our persuasion at a -20. That gives us a 10% chance to succeed. So absurd. Oh please, you resent that you were born a freak, so now you want to prove that you are just as good as us normal people. For Imperium, which we also only have a 10% on, no matter what being you call to your side, I have the God Emperor on mine. That means you are doomed. Or Commerce with a -20 penalty, also a 10% chance. Oh man, add trepidation to your voice. I see you will not be intimidated. How about we make a deal? 40%, 10%, 10%, or 10%. Or just attack. Enough talk, die. I'm gonna try this 40%. Because at least we theoretically have a reasonable-ish chance as opposed to these 10%. But them choosing skills I don't have and then giving us a -20 penalty to them is just rough. Exchange glances with Cabela. Fellowship's test actually succeeded. We rolled a 4 with a trying to get under 40. It's nice. Cabela is watching you out of the corner of her eye. She does not utter a word, but in her posture is the cold look on her face. In the subtle glint of her blades, you read every movement of the deadly dance she is about to perform. Meanwhile, her slightly shifted gaze tells you that she is reading your tactics just as clearly. Nemesite will stand no chance when you two act as one. Alright, then I think we will go into the attack. So there's just no point trying these. And apparently Cabela understands whatever tactic we're about to do. So enough talk. Die. Time stops for a moment, and then, as if tossed by a blast wave, the events fly forward like murderous shrapnel. Willpower, 100% chance to succeed. Now that's my kind of skill. Unleash the energies of the Imperium. Or logic 10, 35% chance to succeed. Nod to Cabela to act in tandem to deceive the enemy. Like, I'd like to act in tandem with Cabela, but if it's a choice between most likely failing or guaranteed success, I gotta just kill him with willpower. A cascade of purple sparks erupts from your fingers. As your will takes shape and power in this world, Nemesite's eyes fill with rage and fear, and he hastily pulls the trigger, blinded by panic. Now we know Cabela has an ability that allows her to guard herself and someone nearby at the cost of her hit points. I've never bothered using it, but this would be the perfect time to use that ability, so I hope that's what happens here, is that she just blocks all these bullets, and then we fry him. Or she goes for the attack, and we don't actually fry him. You know, that's a choice. Cabela takes a deep breath and wipes the blood off her blade. The living legend's head lies severed at her feet. It's so weird that we rolled a thing where it's like, oh yeah, we shock him with the warp energy, and then the animation is us standing doing nothing and Cabela killing him. Let's look at the corpse. The decapitated body lies motionless on the deck. The cut at the neck stares back at you from the grotesquely distorted ridge of its spine. The power of the folk myth fades into the air, like the smoke billowing from the muzzle of a stub revolver. There may still be genetic aberrations on board. We celebrated our victory too early. Cabela, are you alright? Thus ends the struggle of Nemesite. Cabela, are you alright? We'll start with that. He did not harm me. Cabela looks at Nemesite's body with an incomprehensible expression. But he tried. Such was his idea, and he remained committed to it until his last breath. His was a good death. There may still be genetic aberrations on board. We celebrated our victory too early. Then we will find and kill them too. If they are still breathing, they are offending the Undying One. That will be remedied shortly. Alright, well thus ends the struggle of Nemesite. Cabela picks up the severed head from the deck and gazes into its extinguished eyes with a strange wistfulness. The struggle is not people. The struggle is ideas. The people are merely their vessels, the carriers of the struggle. I need to reflect on his death, Doman. I need to stand before the Undying One and hear his blessed whisper. We can discuss what happened after. Okay, level ups. We get another upgrade to our ability that I never use. Because this one's focused around us swapping weapons, which I just don't find myself doing ever. First time in combat, the Archmilitant reaches 0 wounds while under the effects of steady superiority or heroic sacrifice. The Archmilitant restores 20% of their maximum wounds and loses this effect. So keep ourselves alive when we drop. We've gotten down to 0 wounds once, I think, and we've gotten close to it a few times. This wouldn't be a terrible choice. Until the end of combat, every attack grants a stacking plus 2% bonus to critical hit chance. That would be really good. We make lots of attacks. Lots of attacks. But it only counts after we've used this ourselves. Until the end of combat, the Archmilitant's attacks do not spend all MP. Additionally, each attack grants a stacking plus 5% bonus to dodge for 1 round. Okay, so we'd be able to move after attacking. And then we get bonuses to dodge. I think bonuses to crit is more powerful. Archmilitant can use both the heroic act and of the Archmilitant's archetype and the heroic act of the warrior or soldier archetype in a single combat. Okay. So our soldier is the one that allows us to reload and then fire our gun a bunch of times. So normally after you've used your heroic act, you can't use it again for the rest of the combat. This allows us to use the other one as well. I think the bonus to critical chance, so that as the combat goes along, every attack that we do means all future attacks are more and more likely to crit. Which means we want to use our steady superiority as early in combat as we can. Very interesting. That'll change our combat strategy a little bit. Alright, dispatch. Until the end of combat, the target of dispatch loses half of its current armor and deflection. What is dispatch? Because I don't use it. Assassin makes an attack with the current weapon against an enemy. This attack cannot miss and deals 50% more damage. It also deals additional damage equal to 25% of the target's missing wounds. The assassin's dodge reduction, armor penetration, and parry reduction are doubled for this attack. Target of the dispatch loses half of its current armor and deflection. Dispatch deals additional damage equal to 45% of the target's missing wounds instead of 25% of its missing wounds. Till the end of combat, whenever the assassin hits an opening, they gain lethality, temporary wounds. If the dispatch attack kills the target, all enemies in a 3-cell radius around the target gain +2 stacks of disturbed effect and must pass agility or become staggered. I don't know, dispatch feels like it's designed to focus on just taking out one big enemy. Which I guess is fine. But usually I use her to take on groups. So it feels like dispatch is... She just doesn't do a lot of single target damage. Maybe we'll go with this one, so it just does more damage to try and finish off an already injured enemy. Abelard, what Vanguard ability are you getting? Unyielding Guard, which as I recall, every time there are... No, until the next turn, the Vanguard attacks each enemy that attacks the Vanguard's allies in a 3-cell radius around the Vanguard. Additionally, until their next turn, the Vanguard always retaliates when attacked. So just makes himself very defensive and protects allies around him, which we never have our allies grouped up within 3 cells around him. If there's only like one real big enemy around, maybe we'll have 2 or 3 of our melee characters nearby, but it's very rare to have enough that it matters. Till the end of their next turn, the Vanguard cannot die. Until the start of their next turn, all damage suffered by the Vanguard is reduced by toughness bonus. Till the Vanguard's next turn, each attack made by the Vanguard makes them a priority target for each attack made by the Vanguard makes them a priority target for the enemy hit by that attack. Again, he doesn't hit a bunch of enemies. Till the end of combat, all allies in a 3-cell radius around the Vanguard suffer less damage. Until the end of combat, Vanguard gains Fellowship bonus momentum for each attack that hits them. I don't think it matters because I doubt we're really ever going to use Unyielding Guard. I just don't find it good. I'm far more likely to use whatever his bonus was from his first class, but I don't use that either. I think we'll go with this one. Being able to make himself a priority target can be good, because he could charge, attack someone to make himself a priority target, and then move to another location and do a cleave and hit a bunch more enemies. Making himself a priority target actually feels valuable. Now, I never use her ability because the other one that she got for her first level is way powerful. Basically, to just give Ignatius the turn to win. All allies in the selected area also gain dodge, parry, and armor. What does take hold? Chooses one combat tactics area. Every ally in that area gains an extra turn with 1 action point and 2 movement points at the start of the Grand Strategist's next turn. For every enemy that was killed in the selected combat tactics area, this action point is increased by 1 and movement point by 2 up to a maximum of 6. Okay. Again, just not that great. Because that means, like, we drop down the combat area and say we move Pascal into it to take on a group of enemies. Then he gets 1 action point and 2 movement point while he's in there. Maybe we have 2 of my guys in that region. All allies in the selected area also getting 20% dodge, parry, and armor. All allies in the selected area have their weapon skill and ballistic skill increased by 20. All allies in the selected area also gain plus 20% dodge reduction, armor penetration. Maximum number of action points taken granted by take and hold is increased by 5. What is... Oh, take and hold is this. So it would give us more actions if we kill more people. So there's currently a maximum. Up to a maximum of 6. Oh, maximum of 3 on actions. This would raise the actions up to a maximum of 5 if we kill 5 enemies in that region. Which is absurd. I think just boosting weapon skill and ballistic skill means that it'll help out if we use it on the melee area or the back range area. But I doubt we're really going to ever use this because in almost every circumstance her other ability feels like a better use. Executioner. So your Carnival of Misery. Until the end of combat, all damage dealt to enemies by damage over time effects is increased by 100% after all other modifiers. This effect stacks and can be inflicted by more than 1 Executioner. That actually sounds useful. We might find uses for that. Till the end of combat, all toxin and burning effects from any source inflicted on the Executioner's enemies ignore their targets, armor, and deflection. The damage of all bleeding effects from any source inflicted on the Executioner's enemies is increased by an additional 30%. That's definitely pretty good. Whenever Carnival of Misery is used, all enemies suffering from any damage over time effects immediately suffer an additional instance of damage from these effects. That's also very good. All enemies in combat immediately suffer bleeding, burning, and toxin. The level of each is applied. This effect is equal to character's level divided by 10. Not great. Because they're like level 30 or something. So doing 3 bleeding, burning, and toxin is just so little at this point. Until the end of combat, all the Executioner's allies are healed by damage over time effects instead of suffering damage. The number of wounds restored is equal to the amount of damage that would be dealt by an effect after all modifiers are applied. It's equal to the amount of damage that would be dealt by an effect after all modifiers. So you're telling me that when Ignatius lights himself on fire, Carnival of Misery would make him heal from that fire instead of being burned. And then if I used Ignite on, Pascal, then his attacks gain fire damage, but he wouldn't actually suffer the damage because he would be healing. I love the idea of us healing from damage over time effects. Until the end of combat, we heal from damage over time effects. That is crazy. Like, if that actually works as it sounds, that's super overpowered. Just anytime enemies use toxin or bleeding or burning on us, and we can just make it heal us instead by just using this ability. I've got to choose it, but I'd be shocked if it actually works that good because that sounds too good. Bounty hunters simultaneously make several attacks. The number of attacks is equal to the number of prey in combat. These attacks are equally divided amongst all prey, the bounty hunter's line of sight. The attack always hits and always scores a critical hit. Right, we've used that I think once. Prior to the attack, all prey suffer a penalty to armor until the end of combat. Bounty hunter gains agility bonus movement points and restores 3 charges of hunt down the prey. So we could hunt down the prey is, where we mark enemies. So we'd be able to mark 3 more enemies after using this. Not bad. Whenever the bounty hunter attacks exactly 1 target, which is marked as prey with Wild Hunt, this attack deals 300% damage. Okay. All prey has its movement points reduced to no less than 2. This would require us to only have 1 enemy marked as prey. And if we only have 1 enemy marked as prey, I just don't see that I would want to waste our momentum on this as opposed to other people's abilities. So I'm going to penalize enemies' armor. I think that's a smarter choice. Alright, that was a lot. I don't think we're going to go with stub revolvers. You're also a solid projectile. I mean, these count as pistols, but we made it this far in the game and never had a need for pistols. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. What about you? Relics of Unknown Saints. When the wearer has less than 50% wounds, every second attack against them is automatically dodged. The effect lasts for up to 2 rounds. Maybe. We'll see what inventory slot that takes. This one. Is there anyone who doesn't have an item? You do. We could make her dodgier whenever her health is low. That's not bad. Not opposed to that. There are so many bodies here. Physaline. does seem pretty good. I don't care about... no. 18 range is pretty good. 12 to 17, the 40% armor penetration is good. I don't think the 12 to 17 is that good, but the ongoing 6 toxin... If we compare that to Argenta's sniper rifle... No. 12 to 17 compared to 18 to 25 just doesn't feel great, and lowering our hit chance. No, I don't think I'm going to actually use those ever. Come on. Drag it over to here. Thank you. We will keep the Faisaline, though. I am shocked, though, by how many officers died in something that we had clearly planned. So it feels like we should have planned better. Alright, Confessor. Anything you want to say? The aberration dared violate the sacred ceremony and was obliterated. Retribution has been served.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Enforcer Officer? Nemesite has fallen. All hail the Lord Captain. Anything in here? No. There is definitely a room here. Huh. Same thing here. We've got another room. No way to get into it. And no one else to talk to? No. Just some more Enforcer officers. Alright, I guess it's time to leave. This is not the way out. It's weird that we have a room here we can't get into. But I think this is a set room that they've used as an asset multiple times, so that's probably used for a different quest.
Follow my lead.
Back to the bridge. Now, Cabela wanted to talk to us afterwards so that she could get her thoughts in order.
Take heed, Nemo. Our blessed Domin honors us with a visit. The one who delivered this ark from the curse of your existence.
The malformed skull in Cabela's hands has been polished to a pale sheen. Its empty eye sockets pose a question that can only be answered in death. Who is Nemo?
An aberration, your former foe, his eternal foe. My new companion in shadow and my trophy. You once knew him by the name Nemesite, but now his name is Nemo.
Cabela holds up the skulls up to your face. So she grabbed the skull of Nemesite, cleaned it up, and now has it as a trophy that she's named Nemo. Alright.
Whenever I feel the need to voice my thoughts, I turn to him. He is far wiser in death than when he was alive.
A little bit creepy, but fine. What did you wish to discuss?
For years, I have been honing my body and spirit through sacred rituals. I have ushered hundreds of souls to the other side. The hunt for Nemesite was not my first. Yet, after my enemy fell, for the first time ever, I felt empty. And that emptiness only grew heavier under the weight of the question that formed in my mind during that hunt.
She forces the words out of herself.
I prayed. I longed for his guidance to put my mind at rest. But in my self-pity, I showed weakness in the eyes of the Undying One. And so, my only answer was silence. I must therefore ask you this agonizing question, Domin. Tell me, what is the purpose of the blood-spun web?
A lot of options. Does this have anything to do with our earlier conversation about your resemblance to Nemesite? You are the scourge of the renegades. You deliver his vengeance in the name of the righteous. You serve the Undying Emperor, yet you also serve his faithful. You are the givers of his peace. You are my servant, my weapons. You serve the dynasty. All you are is a sect of the deadliest, most terrifying zealots on this ship, or I cannot be the judge of that. Does this have anything to do with our earlier conversation about your resemblance to Nemesite?
Please, just answer me.
She's like, I don't want you to ask why I'm asking. I just want an answer. Scourge of the renegades. Deliver his vengeance in the name of the righteous. Or I don't think I'm going to go with you're my servants and my weapons. Or you're just deadly zealots. The Scourge of the renegades. You deliver his vengeance in the name of the righteous. Or you serve the Undying Emperor, yet you also serve his faithful. You are the givers of his peace. I kind of like that. Yeah. You serve the Undying Emperor and his faithful.
Then that makes me a driver of the ignorant. One who guides people into following an idea they may never hope to comprehend.
Sounds like she didn't like that answer.
All my life, I have walked the road that was prescribed for me. I did as I was told. I searched for the truth in other people's words, then repeated them in my own voice. And I never once questioned my destiny. Until you came along, Nemo.
The way Cabela drags her metal claws across the skull in her hands seems almost affectionate.
I might just as easily have met Nemesite's fate, and he mine. All it would have taken is a different pattern of threads. The only distinction lies in our ideas. Thank you for this conversation, Domin. It has satiated the void that gnaws at my soul, if only for a time. As for how to seal this chasm for good, that I have yet to find out. May the tenets of the web guide me to the truth.
Cabela's gaze has grown pensive. Okay, anything further to say?
Take heed, Nemo. Our blessed Domin honors us with a visit. The one who delivered this ark from the curse of your existence.
Okay, nothing further to say, at least for now. I must take my leave.
May the Undying One shroud your footsteps from the faithless.
Thank you. Carrying on then.